Now these are my favorite videos to make, the ones that are not planned. Something pops up and we need to correct the problem ASAP. Now this is my 18-year-old Acura TL. It has been wonderful, very reliable. You just put gas in it and it keeps on going. But just recently, I started to hear a rustling noise, a scratching noise underneath the dash. Now this noise is coming from roughly this section of the dash. I was really worried about a rodent, a chipmunk, something in here and eating at the wires. Now I did record the noise with my phone. It may be a little hard for you to hear it, but if you have headphones, for sure you will hear this noise. Now on this particular day, I just did not have that much time to really invest and see what's going on. I quickly removed the bottom cover. I was looking for droppings. I did not see anything. I also checked underneath the cowl where the wipers are. Tapping around, looking for things. I did not hear anything. I did not see anything. Now the very next morning, a very cold morning, I attempt to start the vehicle and the battery is dead. Now what's interesting is I jumped the vehicle, drive it around for roughly 10 minutes, come back home, turn it off, and immediately it turns right back on. I have no issues whatsoever. So that tells me I must have a parasitic draw issue. Now, if you don't know what that means, imagine you turn off your vehicle at night, but you leave the interior lights on. Eventually, it's going to kill the battery. Also, if you happen to use something like this to charge your devices, always unplug them. Because although the vehicle is off, very often these still draw battery power. Also, if you have anything aftermarket, which I will get to shortly, that can kill the battery as well. So I very quickly do a parasitic draw test. Now, there are many videos showing on how to do this. I found Eric, the car guy, has the easiest video to follow. So I do the parasitic draw test, but I don't see any amperage being pulled, any alarming amperage. I do see a little bit, which is normal on a modern vehicle with electronics, computers, the anti-theft light going off. So I saw some draw, but very, very little, nothing alarming. Now, this is where it gets interesting and where I think it can help you if you cannot find a battery draw issue. And I'll give you two other options as well to really track it down. But later that day, I ended up replacing the battery. I did not find a parasitic draw, so I figured maybe it's the battery. In this case, it was only 33 months old. Not very old for a battery, a die-hard gold battery, but it did have a 36-month warranty from Advance Auto Parts. Very, very easy to essentially remove the battery. I brought it to Advance Auto Parts. Within 5 minutes, I had a brand new battery. No questions asked. Installed the battery, started the vehicle. Cranking power was terrific. I felt great. But later that night, this is the key, at night, I dropped off my son at basketball practice. I parked the car, turned off the car. Don't forget, it's at night now, pitch black. I'm grabbing a couple of things and I hear the noise. And I need to really now figure this out because I can't have a dead battery in 20-degree weather. So I just thought to myself, maybe, let me see if I can time the interval. Maybe this noise is going off at a set interval. So as you can see, here's a screenshot from my phone. And roughly every 30 to 31 seconds, this noise is going off. Just constantly going off. So now I feel really good. I know it's not a rodent, but I really need to figure out what is going on here. So imagine pitch black, can't see anything. The noise is going off. I see the 30-second interval on my phone, but then in the corner of my eye, I see a light going off. And that light is corresponding to the noise. And it's specifically for this, the memory function. The memory function for the seats and also the side mirrors. So later that night, I dig up the manual that I have for this vehicle and I'm tracking down the fuse that controls the memory on this vehicle. The trouble was the fuse also controlled the interior lights, it controlled the seats. So if I unplug the fuse, I can't control the functionality of the seats going back and forth and recline and so forth. So I thought to myself, what if I just unplug the module, the memory module that's underneath the dash? I hear it clicking, so maybe I can just find that module and unplug it. And what I'll often do is jump on eBay to find the part specifically for this vehicle. I can find the used part, I know what to look for, and then I just, at night, with a flashlight on my back, I found the module under the dash and I unplugged it. So at this point, I don't have that memory function. I can replace the module. It's like 40, 50 bucks used, but why bother? I can still move the seat and I'm perfectly happy with that. So very quickly, as we wrap this up, if you have a battery draw issue, try what I did. Park the car at night, lock it, let the car go to sleep, and just listen and look for lights. This also happened to me with a Honda Accord. The radio, the face of the radio would blink on and off. The factory radio. This is something that is known on the older 03 to 07 Honda Accords, and I just replaced the radio. So just sit in the car and see and listen. Maybe you can dig something up. The second thing you can try, do you have anything aftermarket? Now, one channel I started to really watch recently is the Car Care Nut. Excellent channel. The guy is a certified master tech at Toyota, and he recently uploaded a 2023 Tacoma from the factory. The Tacoma comes with halogen taillights, which I never knew, and the owner wanted LED taillights. So he replaced the taillights with an aftermarket part. It started blowing fuses, and the owner just replaced the fuses. Eventually, it blew out the entire fuse block inside the car. To replace the fuse block was $750, 750 bucks. So if you have anything aftermarket, especially if your car is newer, the computers just, they're so touchy that if it's not OEM, you may have this issue. And I had a similar issue on my wife's Subaru as well when I installed aftermarket headlights. It blew out the interior lights. So you have to be really careful with these aftermarket parts. And then the last thing, wrapping this up, going back to the parasitic draw test. Again, very easy to do. You just need a multimeter, but the mistake I made is I kept the meter on there for maybe 20, 30 seconds. The better thing to do, keep the meter hooked up for like 3, 4, 5 minutes and see and wait for the spike. Once you see that spike, then you certainly know you have an issue and you need to track it down. But I really think just parking the car at night, twice this helped me. Once with the Honda Accord, which was years ago, and I completely forgot it until just now talking about it. That really helped me out. And again, now with this Acura, by accident, I just spotted the light, disconnected the module, and that's it. So going forward, I hope you guys continue to tune in. We hopefully will get that FJ Cruiser up and running. As always, thank you for watching.